Welcome to FitBody Lifestyle, the show where we dive deep into the world of fitness, health, business, relationships, and the art of living a balanced life. I'm Jami.
And I'm Greg, and we're here to give you the benefit of our experiences in the fitness and bodybuilding industry, the corporate world, running a business, personal development, and building healthy relationships.
Whether you're sweating it out in the gym, hustling in your business, or seeking balance in your everyday life, you're in the right place.
So lace up those sneakers and grab that water bottle, and let's get ready to transform our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
Welcome back to FitBody Lifestyle and today's Fusion Hack. We're so happy to have you back with us. I'm here with my love of my life here, Gregory DeBernard. And earlier this week, we talked about questions for success. So if you saw our episode on Monday, this ties in with that one as well. And really what we're talking about today is just ways to apply these questions that we talked about. So hopefully you've had a chance to listen to that episode. And if not, you can always hop in there and listen to that one and then come back to this one. But let's start out. Let's talk about, you've gone through your questions for success. You've asked yourself these questions. I think the number one thing we talked about is journaling and writing them down.
Yep. There's significant power that comes from writing things down, and your opportunity to be more reflective, but also your opportunity to put real change into place is increased exponentially when you write it down. And I'm thinking, there's a part of me that wants to say, back in my day, we would just journal on a stone tablet with a chisel and a hammer.
What is this, like the Ten Commandments? Are you Moses or what?
Yeah, it was that. It was Fred Flintstone and just tapping on a tablet. But journaling, obviously, you can get a book for that. Man, you just pull out a piece of paper, get a napkin. You're at a restaurant, or you're somewhere, and you see a napkin, and thought comes over to you about one of these questions. Start with writing down the 6 questions now, but the other parts of it is just to start reflecting on what those mean to you and how they might, how you might apply them for your world, because the questions are questions. And that's the beauty of questions, is that I can ask you a question and you're going to have a different answer than the same question that I ask of myself. It may not be different. It may be different, but the point is that it's your perspective on things. And so I'm thinking about, journaling in an actual journal where you write stuff down. But in today's modern world, you could do a video thing where you could videotape yourself and say, hey, I've been thinking about this question of what am I willing to give? And here are my thoughts on it. Now, I would never do that because I don't like the sound of my own voice. I would not want to watch myself back and listen to it. But the power of writing it down, and for me, that has more impact to me.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm funny like this. Like if, when I embark on something like this, I want to go get a pretty journal that's something, I'm going to enjoy writing in, and, maybe even a pen that, I'm going to use to do that, and, kind of embrace that whole process. And then what I would suggest doing is, once you get get everything in writing and you've journaled it all down, set yourself a reminder, so quarterly or monthly or however you want to do, to remind you to go back and review, those answers that you put down and see, do they still apply? Do you want to modify them at all? What have you learned about yourself through the process? So you don't want this to be a one-time thing.
Right.
This is something you want to...
A sustainable practice.
Exactly. Consistently come back to. And then maybe you formulate some of your own questions. I mean, we gave some suggestions for some questions earlier this week on Monday. We gave 6 suggestions, but there are more, and there may be specific ones that apply to your goals, or what's important to you in your life. So feel free to add to that list and make it your own.
If you're a parent, for example, one question you may want to add to the list is, how do I want to raise my child or my children? What
values do I want to instill?
Values I want instilled in them? Yes, absolutely. These are great questions, and if you haven't journaled on them, hopefully just the fact that we're asking that question may have some power to it. And I want to go back to something you said about, I'd get the pretty journal and the pen and everything. Man, I don't want to walk by that. That's so important, because creating conditions for your own success is part of the reality of being able to then follow through on things. And if you create a ritual and a habit around this thing, and it's something that is fun, which ties in with question number 6, if you watched the previous episode, building some fun into it so that you love it. If you don't love journaling, find a way to find the love in that process. And sometimes it may be getting getting something, ornate, beautiful that you love writing in, that, it speaks to you. Maybe there's something on the cover that reminds you of what it is. But I do love that, babe. And I think that that's something that's really, really simple and really powerful.
Right. And I mean, I feel like something that, kind of pivoting into the next suggestion we have is that vision boarding. I think it can be really fun to, and again, this is like infusing that fun. And if you're more of a visual person, if you're just having something where, you find pictures or you find words that have meaning to you, and, you cut them out and, create, a piece of art around it, or even just, putting up little Post-it notes to remind you of different aspects that you want to consistently, consider each day. And it could just be key words that are, part of what you're journaling and part of, the result of your questioning. I think that can be super powerful because it's just that trigger. We're creating anchors that help to draw you back into making sure that you're living your most authentic life of what's, what you want to achieve. What does success look like to you? Interested in changing your life or stepping on stage? Join FitBody Fusion today.
Experience the FitBody Fusion difference with tools, knowledge, and community support to reach your healthy and sustainable lifestyle.
We guide thousands on their fitness journeys, from seasoned athletes to those who are simply seeking a healthier life.
Our expert coaches provide personalized plans and unwavering support, empowering you to thrive.
FitBody Fusion is more than just training. It's a community. We understand the challenges of solo fitness journeys, which is why we foster a supportive environment where members encourage and motivate each other.
Join the FitBody Fusion community today and unlock your full potential.
Head to fitbodyfusion.com to sign up for a free consultation.
And do it today. Those visual reminders, I mean, you need go no further than a tattoo that people get. And these are visual reminders of something significant to that person. But these visual reminders and doing that vision board and honestly creating a fun process. I know there are digital vision boards that you can create, which, hey, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I think almost more old school, where I've seen people do vision boards where it's literally a cork board and they put pictures up that have some significance to them, that maybe represent a goal or maybe represent something that they love, or maybe it's their reminder of what and who they are. But there's no rules to this, and there are just different ways. Find the way that resonates best with you.
Right. When you were talking about the digital ones, I was thinking about the Wordles.
Mm-hmm.
That you've done those a few times, where you can go in. They have different apps where you can put in all these words that are meaningful for you, and they'll create a piece of art that's in the shape using all the words. That's kind of fun too.
That is fun. Yeah.
I do agree, though. Like, there's something to that tactile, and of course, I'm very kinesthetic, so I'm drawn to that. But that cutting out each one and creating, that creation process, really ties you to whatever it is that you're working on. And then for me, I really feel like a huge part is expressing my thoughts and feelings. It's usually to you, since you are my partner in life, and I do think having somebody, it could be a spouse, a parent, a child, a best friend. It could be whoever it is that's your vault, whoever it is that you, trust to listen and to
encourage.
Yeah, encourage.
And hold you accountable.
Exactly. And also help you think through some things, maybe that, help shine a light on something you haven't thought of before. So I feel like for me, that's probably my number one.
I can't scarcely think of a time when our kids have expressed a goal, or when somebody I was coaching or mentoring, or an employee, whatever, was expressed a goal, where I didn't ask the question, why is that important to you? And because it really helps me understand what I can do to help you, because that was then the second question I asked is, how can I help you accomplish that goal? What's my role? And having an accountability partner and speaking it into existence, man, there are a lot of goals we carry around inside, and that's fine. I'm not going to criticize that technique, but I will say that when you articulate that goal, when you speak that goal into existence, it becomes something different.
Right. I mean, I feel like you hold yourself more accountable, even just by expressing it to somebody that you cares about you and respects you. Could even be, a therapist, and that's really great, a safe space too, especially if it's something that's personal and maybe you're not ready to share out in the world. But it really does help, I feel like, to have somebody that you can confide as you're going through and deciding, what things are important, what your values are, how you want to accomplish things in life, and going through all the questions that we posed and any that you feel like are relevant to add.
Yeah. The three things that we talked about here are journaling, vision boarding, and accountability partner, or sharing it with somebody that you love. So those are really the three tips. And I want to go back to the vision boarding one thing. And okay, there's a vision board that has, different pictures on it, but there's also a great power that comes from affirmations or things that you put around your house that you can see. And one of the reasons why I like vision board over putting it on your computer is that if you have to go to your computer and turn it on to see your vision board, it's just not that visual reminder. What we're talking about for visual reminders is in a vision board is something that you would walk by frequently through the day. Those little, whether they are conscious or subconscious cues, really help anchor you into those things. And I'm going to relay a story. I hope she's okay with this, but I'm so proud of my daughter in doing this. Is one of the things that she did to help with her own self-esteem and her self-confidence was to write "I am enough" on her mirror. And I think she wrote it 2 or 3 different places in her apartment. But these were things that she would see the first thing she woke up. She would go in the bathroom and see "I am enough." And this was just that powerful affirmation. And to tell you how powerful it is, I shared this with somebody else that was struggling with self-confidence. And I said, just tell me right now, me to you, just tell me, you just say, "I am enough." And the person couldn't do it. The person could not do it because they were so just drawn in, but they took that challenge. And I said, okay, my challenge to you is write this down, make it part of you, write it, on your notebook, and just start doing it. And they came back in 3 months and said it had made a tremendous difference in their life. And I had seen a difference in them in terms of how they were showing up and how they were presenting, simply out of those 3 words, "I am enough." And don't underestimate, or I should say, embrace the fact that words have power.
Absolutely.
And we may have to talk about that in a full form episode about words and the power behind the words. Do you think that might be a topic?
I do believe that's going to be one of our topics.
Teaser alert.
You're so funny.
I'm such a nerd. All right, everybody.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Remember to like, comment, subscribe, leave your reviews. We really appreciate those. Journal, vision board, accountability partner, or just share. Maybe let's not call it accountability partner. Let's just call it a person to share that with. That's so important. And remember the 3 B's.
Be good to yourself.
Be good to each other. And
be safe.
Wait, you missed it.
And
okay. Be safe. Okay, you got to get this down, babe.
Wow.
Take care, everybody.
See you next week. Thank you for tuning in to FitBody Lifestyle. We hope today's episode has left you feeling motivated and equipped to tackle your fitness goals, business challenges, and the daily dance of life. Remember to value progress over perfection. Life's tough enough alone. Find the chosen family around you to help you along the way.
If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite streaming platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at FitBody Fusion.